Alright, this is going to be my last video for today from Clutch Talk 101. I'm going to talk about Trevor Lawrence. He was coming out of Clemson, the sought after. He was the suck for luck. He was the next Peyton Manning, the consensus number one pick from day one. From right after his freshman year, he was going to be a number one pick every year, but he decided to stay a couple extra years. And he got drafted to a very, very crappy team, and for I believe 2 years now, he's looked kind of below average. Well, turn to find out. Look at who his coach was, Urban Meyer, the biggest piece of crap coach that you could ever ask for. No team kept, so that made it so where there was he was so against the team that it was super bad chemistry. It made all the whole team kind of bitter, and I feel like they weren't playing for really anything. Knowing he had the audacity to kick a kicker and talk crap to him, I mean, that's that's not even. I mean, how do you get away with that in the NFL? But beside the point, my comp for Trevor Lawrence was always just a thinner. Not saying he's frail or thin, but a thinner Andrew Luck. Uh, he could throw on the run like crazy. His arm strength is A plus. His accuracy is really good. Uh, he seemed like he was always throwing to the right guy. He might have had a couple bad moments last year because he ended up trying to force some things because I mean their team was not very good. They made some improvements in the offseason and got Doug Peterson, who's a Super Bowl winning coach, who's proven, and look at him now. It's just 1 year, one off season. Look what that did. He went from irrelevant that like nobody's really expecting much from him to possibly a top five quarterback right now. I believe he's a future MVP. I believe he at least makes a Super Bowl in his career. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win one because I have no idea in the future of what weapons they're gonna if they with currently constructed. I don't expect them to go to a or win a Super Bowl, but if they added you know like a star tight end or like improve the line a little bit and maybe another number one or two receiver next to Christian Kirk and their other receiver they got there now, along with that defense, keep that defense intact and young and growing and just young through the draft to keep your linebackers young. Always draft depth at linebacker. Always draft depth at your corner position and and just make sure you when you're selecting. This is my point of view on drafting a defense. I think you gotta when you're drafting outside linebackers slash DNs, you have to you have to have particular rotation that you want. You you know you got to get like I love the Broncos rotation. They sometimes they'll have Randy Gregory in, sometimes they'll have just Bradley Chubb in, and then on like third and longs they'll put Chubb and Randy Gregory in. You got to have a good rotation at your pass rushing. Little off topic, but I think that Trevor Lawrence has the potential to be a Super Bowl winner, MVP. Not saying he's gonna. I think he's gonna win the division this year, but I'm not saying he's making the Super Bowl or MVP or anything like that. He'll be at least in the top five of the MVP running this year if he stays healthy. Um, but in the future, definitely, I believe he'll win one, maybe multiple, along with Super Bowls. I think he's the best. Like everyone says Justin Herbert's your prototypical what you would want everything in attribute wise in a quarterback. I disagree. I think Trevor Lawrence is because he's everything that Justin Herbert is, but one in college. Justin Herbert was at Oregon. He had a great team. They didn't go to the college playoffs. I mean, they did good, but they obviously, because when you're that talented, it's hard not to be good. Just like Patrick Mahomes, when you're that talented, it's hard not to be successful in the NFL. But in order to be a multiple time champion or like make it to the Super Bowl several times, you gotta have that winning experience, in my opinion. And Trevor Lawrence has won at the college level, and I think he'll end up winning at the NFL as well.